Good evening and welcome back to Mystic Matters. We are the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening, Tricia.
Good evening, Suzette.
Here we are back with Mystic Matters, but something is kind of different.
It is. It's like we've morphed to another location.
We have, and this, I want to tell you that this setting looks very familiar to me. But let's talk about Mystic Matters on the road. And we're here at Simply Majestic, so welcome.
Yes. Well, this year we have had this wonderful opportunity to partner with the Lighthouse and have them produce our on-the-road pieces that you'll see intermittently throughout the year.
Okay, but anyways, I just want to thank you and Hannah Stewart for really making this happen and the partnership with the Lighthouse. It's going to be a great year, and I'm looking forward to it.
I am looking forward to it as well. It's one of the many changes and new programs and opportunities and benefits that we are offering to our chamber members this year.
Okay.
As we continue to evolve as a chamber to better serve the needs of our members, I was thinking about how you've been evolving in business, and you've been in business for how long now?
Well, Chuck and I have been, I've been in the jewelry industry for about 37 years, probably 38, but I don't, I seem to lie along the way. But actually...
Since she was 1 year old.
That's right, Tricia. Actually, 23 years we've owned Simply Majestic, and interestingly, we are here at my store with a great staff, and you'll be meeting Jennifer a little bit later on. You'll see some film that we taped with Chuck a couple of days ago. But interesting that we are doing our show here at Simply Majestic because, the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce was our only resource way back when to get the word out for small business, especially for Chuck and I. When you are a small business, you don't have the dollars to market yourself. And so through the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, we threw ourselves into the community, and hence here we are 23 years later and very, very successful in the community. And I must say that if it wasn't for the partnership with the community itself and the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, played a big role in who we are today.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I will say that, from the chamber end, we always pride ourselves on the personal relationships that we have with our members and how we can maximize that and give more business to these local businesses. And, it's not about the advertising dollars. It's more about the personal touch. And I know that that's something that has created your entire customer base throughout the years. And
right, that's correct. Well, small business don't have the dollars, Tricia. It takes a little while to build that. And with Majestic Jewelers, it's all about the relationships. There are plenty of jewelry stores, there are plenty of financial advisors, there's plenty of retail, there's plenty of everything. So you have to ask yourself, what makes you different from the rest of your competitors? And here at Majestic, we think competitors are good. I mean, the more retail and the more businesses we have in Stonington and Mystic, better. But at Majestic, you can get free gift wrapping. You can get warranties. You can get everything that everybody else offers. Here at Majestic, we take that to the next level. And it's all about building a relationship with the customer that comes into your store, or building a relationship with the customer that you meet at a business after hours. It's knowing them, it's knowing their children, and it's getting to know about their personal lives. For instance, I've known you for a long time, since you were a child, but I didn't know Adam.
No.
So when Adam came in, your wonderful husband, I had to get to know him. To get to know Adam was to get to know what Tricia wants for an engagement ring. So, that all trickles down. What I'm seeing here at Majestic now is next generation. Of course, I married all those, had the opportunity of selling rings to all the people that I went to school with. Now it's the next generation. But business, like small business in a jewelry store, is all about retention. And you need that customer base. And that's basically, it's not rocket scientists, it's basically relationships. The other thing, Tricia, is we take to the next level. There have been many times that Chuck, myself, Jennifer have delivered jewelry. We have Stone Ridge, right up here. If you need your jewelry delivered, we take it to the next step, and I think that's mainly what makes Majestic different from everybody else.
Yes, and that we can call on you on a moment's notice if we need a plaque engraved for someone. Sometimes 24 hours and
Yes.
they've got it done.
We're not going to say what we say about you, Tricia, when you do that. And I want to tell you, we're filming as Majestic is open, so you're going to see some wonderful people come into the store, in and out. We can take it from the side. Come on in. Come on in. No, come on in. You're right down. You're another business right down the street. You know we're going to take care of you. Give it to us. But anyways, you know, it is about the personal relationships. And yes, you have called us the last minute, and yes, we deliver the product.
Yes. And I think, you know, I mean, the other things you were talking about, the gift wrapping and all of that, and yeah, it's a nice touch, but here it's a personal touch. And I feel like, you know, when you get something from Suzette for Christmas, she has color coordinated the ribbons on the packages to go with the specific person that they go to. When my husband was asking, well, I wouldn't even know what kind of a ring you would want. All he had to do was show up here and talk to Suzette, and he came away with the ring I wanted.
Right.
So.
Well, it's, you know, what we've done, Tricia, in order to stay in business, because we understand that the younger generation is really defining what business is going to be like in the future. So in our small space here on 59 Williams Avenue, we've learned that the client is telling you what to do and what they want. So along with our custom design, and you know that your ring was custom designed by Chuck, and again, you'll see some footage from Chuck, that those are handmade pieces. We're going to get into the CAD pieces in a little while here. But we are very savvy. We have to be proactive. There's a social media part of our business, which Jennifer Vincent handles. We are on Facebook, so you can like us on Facebook. But we also are expanding, because we understand that the clients are telling us what they want. And in order to get the word out there, to supply that demand, which is from the customer, we need to get the word out there. So we are expanding. Chuck is going to have a much larger room in the custom design area. We are building a social media room and putting computers in there to sell some of Chuck's custom design. So businesses can't just sit back, Tricia.
No, you have to constantly be changing, and
Right.
you have to anticipate what the next thing the client will want is.
Right.
And I think it's interesting, as you were talking about, you know, you sold rings to this generation, and now you're selling the rings to their children. You're also working with Chuck to redesign perhaps jewelry that was left from someone that's passed along, and
Exactly.
that they want to make new and fresh and
Right.
fashionable to this. At
That's
this
right.
time.
So we try to keep the character in the jewelry that's so treasured. And with Chuck Sneddon at the bench and being a master jeweler, for instance, if there's a piece that a grandmother had that, and she's now gone, you want to pass it along, it's not necessarily a piece that you would wear.
Yes.
A young person would wear. It's not fashionable anymore. It's not something that they would wear every day. So the very first thing we do is we understand that there's an emotional attachment to that piece. So we handle it with kid gloves. I mean, we know. And a lot of times that piece, when we look at it at jewelry-wise, is not worth a lot of money, but that's actually not what we, it's more of the sentiment and it's the emotion. So we help bring back that emotion, but also keep parts of the piece, whether it's a ring or a necklace, that meant so much to the grandmother or the aunt. And that's something that we can do here. And it's not only Chuck that, he actually has to bring it to fruition, but the whole staff, we have Sylvia here, we have Donna here, we have Jen, we have Linda, that can design and help create that piece too. My staff is very knowledgeable, and I think when you talk about jewelry, people are apprehensive to leave their pieces. What you need to know is you have to leave it with people that you trust. And people that are knowledgeable. These are not just clerks that work in this store. If there's anything new in the industry, anything that we need to learn about, we seek out that knowledge and that education. And of course, it's brought back to your business. Because if you want to continue to grow, it's not only the retention, it's not only being proactive, but it's also educating yourself to know more about the industry.
Excellent.
So,
Well, and I think it's also really interesting is that for so long you have been the face of Majestic. Everybody knows who that is Majestic. And so I think that people over the years have come to think they can only deal with you if they come in because you are the business. And Jen and Linda, having been here for so long, and the knowledge and the training that you've provided, you truly get the Majestic experience regardless if they're dealing directly with you.
right, right. And we've tried to, I did retire once.
Yes.
Yeah, I did retire, but I called every day and I redid my house 6 times and bought more shoes than I liked. So my husband actually said, maybe you should be better, you come back to work. But you know, I was very young at the time and I said, you know what, I really love the business. But in the other side of Majestic, and this is really not relating to jewelry at all, you know, you can come into Majestic and you can share with us whatever is going on in your life as well. Because we think that's very important. We are the hometown jeweler. We consider ourselves a hometown jeweler. And a lot of times, and Jennifer will attest to you, and a lot of my staff, Linda, will attest that a lot of times it has nothing to do with jewelry. You know, if you want to come in here and talk about somebody that you lost, or you want to talk about a relationship, or you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, come on in, we'll get you a cup of coffee, and you can sit and talk. But that person came in because they had a relationship with us along the way. And it's more than the jewelry. And I think if people put that kind of compassion into their product, and it doesn't have to be jewelry, whatever you put your compassion in, you will always be successful. And it may not come that day. It may come down the road. But if you continue to have the passion and continue to educate yourself, you will be a successful business no matter what. But I do want to say one thing, that the Chamber of Commerce, and especially I'm very proud of the new staff that has been together for almost a year now.
Over a year.
Over a year?
I know, it's hard to believe.
I think one of the main things, and my husband and I were talking about this last night as we were going into the show, there's so many benefits that the Chamber has. And it is up to the small business to use those benefits. It's very important that you have that partnership with the Chamber. It is very few dollars for a lot of stuff. And I think Majestic and myself included with my staff recognize the type of benefits that the Chamber has and use it. It's great, because if you look at how much the membership is in comparison to what you get, it's great. It's a great value.
Yep. And I think that also it's important to note that just like your business, we're here for the community as well.
Right.
So, I mean, it doesn't have to just be that you want to promote whatever it is that you do, or, you know, the larger business that perhaps is not a member that you work for, but you live in the area and you care about this community. You can reach out to the Chamber and get involved and, you know, attend events and things like that. And you don't have to be, it doesn't have to just be about your business. It can be about you. And we want each person to feel like they're important to the Chamber.
Right. And in small businesses, which the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce, I think you guys are more comprised of small businesses.
We are. And in the past few years, we've seen, you know, a growing trend. It's interesting. Statistically, they usually consider a small business 100 or 50 or less people. The membership that we have, when I think of small business, I think of one person, maybe two.
Right.
And that's really where you're seeing the growing, is that people are working for themselves, you know, maybe working out of their home and eventually moving on to, you know, be able to expand. And that's really what the Chamber membership is showing right now, is that trend.
And the other thing with small business too, people come here all the time and ask me for advice, whether they want to open up a small business or they have a business that's sort of struggling. And there really isn't that magic sentence. You know, I spoke about being compassionate about your business, but I think the other side of it is, don't try to be everything to everybody. I think, you know, if somebody says, you got to have this product, or you got to do this, or stick to what you know best. And do it well. Exactly. And I think leave that, and as soon as you've mastered that part of your business, then do the next thing. Okay. So in a few minutes here, Tricia, we are going to go into probably the most favorite part of our business is custom designing, and we're going to bring on Jennifer Vincent, who's going to do that custom design for us. So we're going to segue into that.
Excellent.
Okay. Jennifer Vincent. So Jennifer basically manages the store and manages Chuck and I. It's quite a big job, and she absolutely loves it, don't you, Jen?
Fantastic.
Look at that face. But Jennifer, I think the best thing we do is to take us through the actual design process. So, for instance, what do you have on here? What do you want to show us today?
We currently have a ring designed with 3 stones with some diamonds down the side. But as you said, some of our clients come in and they have some sapphires that they want to reset with their diamond, and of different sizes and shapes. So,
So this could be from someone bringing in something like we talked about at the beginning of the show. They have a piece from their grandmother, and then the mother-in-law gave them something, and then and don't forget they're different shapes and sizes. Now we have to put it in a ring.
And it has to also then fit with the wedding ring.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah, that's right.
So in this instance, if somebody brought in 2 side sapphires and oval diamond, but they wanted to see what it looked like together, you go here, and this will turn it into an oval.
So you're actually
Going to show them what it would look like. So this one currently is an 8 by 6 millimeter diamond, but they actually have a 12 by 10.
Okay, so in the jewelry industry, we talk in millimeters. Okay, and so what Jen is showing you, so you showed them, see how, I mean, we can take it from a carat to a 2 carat stone.
That's a huge diamond. Right?
That's exactly what we want to sell here at Majestic.
It's a beautiful diamond.
But again, the whole idea that what Jennifer is showing you is that there are a lot of options out there.
So here's a bigger oval diamond, and now we'll show you what the sapphires would look like on the side. So now this is the ring you've been looking for. That we've got it all designed. Well, now you want to see what it would look like on a hand.
You can even
change
pick their
your nail
nail
color.
color.
Yep.
Right, you
Wow.
can say.
Skin tone, your little tanner, there you
Your
go.
little so, because, I mean, for instance, so I have the sort of the Filipino Spanish skin tone. That's amazing.
Yep, you can see.
That's what.
See all the different angles for it and see what it would look like on your hand.
Now, does everyone that works here use this system, or is Jen kind of the guru?
Well, I would
of
say
the-
Chuck, Jen, and Linda. Suzette, that's myself. No. Only because this is not the part of the business that I would handle. This is, the technology part, I'm good at.
There's lots of buttons.
There's a lot of buttons in that, but all the girls are trained on this particular program. And it is a program that, again, we pride ourselves in being very proactive and getting the education and the tools for all of the staff to be able to handle the new and upcoming technology.
Yeah. And these are one-of-a-kind pieces. These are made exactly for you. They're one-off pieces, and they're not any more expensive than buying something out of the case. If you found something in here that you kind of liked, you get exactly what you want here.
Right. So on here, there are a couple of pieces, Jen, that we can get into that Chuck has Chuck
done?
and you, and yes.
Okay.
So here, we'll take us through this. For instance, and we have hundreds and hundreds and thousands of pieces. And what you're looking at now, this was just as recent as Christmas time. Jen, what were those? Those are pear shapes?
Pear shapes on the bottom, 2 rounds, and then the round center and a platinum ring with a European shank.
Okay. And as you know, some of the different shapes and sizes of the different rings don't necessarily go together. So you could come in and say, I'm left with 2 pear shapes. Well, what do you do with that? And I want it in a ring.
Here's one with an oval diamond with the halo setting around. That's without the bands. And that's a complete set with the band. I believe they got 2.
think there's a couple of other kind of unique pieces and pendants and. What you see right now are all the
Here's a
pieces
pendant
that.
that Chuck did.
Okay, so you'll see the. Look at the back side of it, the side view that you're showing there right now.
And then this also, it's a movable pendant. That's the joint up there. Just even the diamonds on the top. And that's exactly what it came in, how it looked when it came in.
So does this program kind of print almost like an instruction guide on how to specifically cut each stone so that it turns out looking like that in the end? Is it
It's
like
done
a
by
CAD?
casting. It's a CAD program. So we send the file to our casting house. They actually build I believe it goes wire mold,
Wire mold.
wax mold. Then they pour the metal material into there, and then they build the stone and build the pendant or ring and set the stones from there.
Is there a piece that we just worked on, that Chuck just worked on last week, that's going in for? I think it's the most recent piece.
Yeah. I don't remember who that was. Yes, but I don't know where to find that.
Okay.
Immediately.
So in other words, if a customer could come in with their own stones, Tricia, or they can come in with nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And could they come in with, say, a price point?
Right.
Yes.
Oh, well, that's the other side of it too.
This could be, any of these pieces could be made from silver on up to platinum. So we can have pretty much every price point that is out there.
And the other side of it is too, diamonds and stones are very, especially for a small business, can cost a lot of money to inventory. This way, you are able to see, we handpick the stones, and we can send to this company, for instance, without going into, for those novice people that know a lot about jewelry, but like for diamonds, there is a scale. There's your color, cut, clarity. We are able on this program to get you the exact carat weight, the color that you're looking for, and also the clarity that you're looking for. Design it right in front of you on the hand. And what is the process?
As soon as we get the approval, we send it in. It takes about 3 weeks for the completed piece to come in.
Right.
And so this is savable per customer. So for instance, say I moved across the country tomorrow, but you had made a ring for me and I needed a piece to complement it. You would be able to go in and do that without me having to physically be at the store.
Yep.
So that's excellent.
Okay. And the other thing that Jen does too, not only with this CAD program, is Jen is able to keep on file from years and years back. I mean, at Christmas time, we will get customers calling up and saying, you know, we purchased a piece 5 years ago, and now we'd like the matching earrings. I can't tell you how many times we get that. Jen, why don't you just tell us a little bit about your paw prints and your hand prints?
One of the things that we offer here is if you have a baby or if you have a dog or a cat for that matter, we can take an imprint of their foot or paw and engrave that on a piece of jewelry or keychain or whatever you might want to have it engraved on. Starts off with just a black imprint, and then you get that to me. I work my magic and we turn it into an engravable file. It makes a fantastic gift for a new mother
Right.
or new dog mom.
Right. So what we're as a matter of fact, we need to tell somebody that with the new dog print, because we have a new puppy in the family.
I've heard somebody has a new puppy.
in the family. Hannah Stewart now has a new niece that has just recently come into her life. You know, and as I'm speaking with you, Tricia, I'm thinking about all the aspects of Majestic. So in this 4 little space here, we're able to do the CAD program, which is the custom design. And we're able to do plaques that you mentioned. We have social media. And then of course we have a full jewelry store of regular jewelry too. It's not these are pickup pieces and a full retail. And then we are able to do, I mean, there's so many aspects of this particular business. And I think Jen brings a very big part. She's very innovative and also keeps it moving forward. And so I think you would want people to like us on Facebook as well.
Yes, yep. If you can find us on Facebook, we have Simply Majestic. We have a picture of the front of the store. And
how do you feel about, we've talked about the small business component from, running it to adapting and evolving, but in terms of working for a small business and not being the owner, what are some of the things that you think are really a benefit to that?
I've worked in everything from the casino to small businesses. My preference is the small business. It's more family. We are involved. We cook for each other. We're involved.
That's true.
We are involved in all of each other's lives and stuff like that. And I really do, and that gets portrayed or brought out with our customers as well. I found a lot of new friends working here. A lot of people come in just to spend time with us. It's not a normal jewelry store here.
Well,
but
what's the new normal?
But it's very comfortable. It's very comforting to know that you have a family that you work with.
It's not work.
And the other side of it too, Tricia, and I keep saying this, is that we are a jewelry store that's implanted and also very involved with the community. And when you say, I think that's sort of an overused term sometimes, but we really we do it. We don't just say it, we actually do it. There are many organizations, not only the Chamber of Commerce, but other organizations that have come to us, and I can't tell you how much time Jen, Linda, myself, Chuck, donate not only our services, but our product as well. We don't have a problem doing that. So it's great. Well, Jen, I want to thank you very much. This has been great. I know you want to do this again. I can just tell. Like I said, you'll be seeing some shots from Chuck, so I want to thank him too. But I also want to thank you, Tricia Walsh, who's just been a great partner in Mystic Matters, and we continue to have fun doing this. And I want to thank Hannah Stewart too, and the Lighthouse. And we'll see how this goes. Maybe Andy and Cassidy and staff and Josh in the back will hopefully we get to see the finished product before it goes on the road.
Yes, and it's just thank you for being the guinea pig and
thank
allowing
you so
us
much.
to test it out here so we know what to do next time and what not to do. Hopefully there won't be a lot of that.
So we are Mystic Matters, the Greater Mystic Chamber of Commerce. Good evening.
Years ago, a friend of mine, prior to opening Majestic, I was a vice president of operation for a national chain of jewelry stores. And so I had friends that had built up over that time. And I left that and opened up this store, and a year or so later, one of my contemporaries wanted to open a jewelry store. So he came and he worked with us for a week. And when he was getting ready to leave and kind of summarize what he learned, the difference between a national chain and an independent store, he said, "Holy cow, Chuck," he said, "how do you do it? Everybody that walks into your store feels like they're your best friend. It feels like that they belong to Majestic. How do you do that? How do you, what do you do to make that happen?" And I said, well, you can't practice appearing to care. You can't teach somebody to act like they care. You have to actually care, that they really are people and they really do have a life, and that's what you need to do. It's not something you practice, it's something you live.